and
Oddworld.
Hey oddballs, I'm your host Jensen, and welcome to episode 179. I'm just going to jump right in today because I'm getting back into the psychic book, and this next section is really long, so here we go. It's lesson time. Today's psychic lesson is create a protective bubble. You can do the following exercise to create a bubble of protection around you that can help you find and maintain your balance to keep you grounded. This bubble comes through your belief. It can help you disassociate and step back to get the whole view of any situation that you find yourself in or need to address. If you are ready to try it, find a comfortable place, take a deep breath, exhale, and allow yourself to relax. You may first try this exercise by counting down or up. However, as you learn how to develop an anchor, you can connect with your protective bubble anytime you want by just changing your focus. Once you become comfortable with your protective bubble, it can become part of your partnership with the universal mind and a powerful tool to keep you grounded and in balance. This bubble may be any color you would like. Most people use a golden imagery or a clear positive energy. It can give you that feeling of being wrapped in a beautiful, secure blanket, just as you may have experienced as a child. There are several ways in which you can experience the protective bubble exercise. You may read it out loud to yourself, memorize it, have someone else read it to you, or record it and play it back to yourself. The protective bubble exercise is designed to help you develop a safe and secure feeling in your belief. You are free to incorporate any image that helps you reach that state. Create a bubble of protection. As you breathe slowly in and out, you may be aware that you have many muscles throughout your body. Some are tight and some are loose. Each time you feel a muscle stiffen, you may relax it. And as you are doing so, you may relax more and more. You may be aware of feeling different muscles stiffening and relaxing as you experience this protective bubble exercise. Feel yourself connecting to your third eye. As you slowly focus on breathing, you may be aware of different sounds around you. You may notice that you have many different thoughts coming into your head, and if so, that's okay. You may feel your third eye as it is connected to your universal mind and as it opens to the universal flow. As you count yourself down, feel the protective bubble surround you and flow over your body. 5. You may feel and see your mind's eye a beautiful golden light that starts to flow through your third eye and down over your forehead, your face, and the back of your head. It flows all the way down to your neck. It is a wonderful, secure, and loving energy filled with all the positive vibrations of the universe. 4. You may now feel the loving energy of your protective bubble flowing over your shoulders, down your arms to your elbows, down your forearms and wrists, and over your fingertips. It is a wonderful, relaxing, safe, and secure feeling. You feel the energy of the universe flowing through and over and around your head, shoulders, arms, and fingers. As you slowly breathe in and out and feel the universal flow, you will go deeper and deeper into a safe, secure, and relaxed state. 3. You may feel your protective bubble spreading slowly down over your chest to your waist. You may feel it as it flows over the upper half of your body, wrapping you in a beautiful, secure blanket of golden light. As you breathe slowly in and out, you will become more and more comfortable with this loving flow of the universe. 2. You may feel your protective bubble spreading over your thighs to your knees. You are in a beautiful and secure capsule of the universal love and positive energy. Breathe slowly in and out, and you will relax more and more as you focus on your connection to the universal mind. 1. You may feel your protective bubble flow over you all the way down from your third eye to your ankles. You are almost totally immersed in the love and positive energy of the universe. You feel comfortable, safe, and secure as you focus more and more on the positive energy in your protective bubble. 0. You are now totally surrounded by your protective bubble sent to you from the universal mind. You may feel this loving energy flow going through your whole body and surrounding you. Take a few moments and enjoy this beautiful, loving energy. I'm not going to lie, but this time I got really comfortable reading that and I kind of got a little sleepy. So now I need to wake up because I've got 2 really good spooky stories to share with you. So hopefully you're all relaxed because now I'm about to scare the crap out of you. So here we go.
This comes from appropriate-ice5576 on Reddit.
I was speaking with some friends the other day about supernatural experiences, as one usually does. Personally, I haven't had an encounter where I've come face to face with a 9-foot transparent person walking around. But after a bit of thought, I recalled something that did happen to me about 15 years ago. I remember it left me slightly terrified and was wondering if anyone could possibly soothe the past fears of my 10-year-old self by explaining away my experience. Here it goes. As a kid, I visited my grandparents' house quite a lot with my family. I have a mom, a dad, a brother, and a sister. And at that time, if we stayed the night at my grandparents', I'd share a bunk bed with my sister, whilst my brother slept in the room next door. I recall vividly one night I stayed at my grandparents', which began with my mom reading my sister and I a before-bed story. We all sat on the bottom bunk, cuddly soft toys, etc. And my mom read us this short story called The Paper Dolls by Julia Donaldson. It's about this little girl creating a string of paper dolls with her mom, and then she goes on whimsical adventures with the dolls, as if they come to life. I can't completely remember how the story ends, but I remember being a little creeped out by the images of the dolls in the book before I went to sleep. Later that night, rolling around in bed, I was unable to sleep. As I lay there, looking at the underside of the bunk above me, where my sister slept silently, I heard a noise. Now, outside of the room we were sleeping was a long, thickly carpeted corridor. The corridor was narrow, and as you walked through, you would have found yourself passing many doors. These led to bedrooms, my parents' room, and at the end of the corridor was my grandparents' room. One noticeable thing about this corridor was the fact that it was obscenely creaky. Wherever you walked could possibly be heard a mile away, even with the lightest steps. As I lay in my bed, I am positive I heard the sound of somebody walking through the corridor, growing closer. As the creaking grew louder and louder and louder. Terrified, I shuffled out of my bed and went to the door of the bedroom, pulling it open a tiny bit. The moment I looked out into the corridor, the noise stopped, and there was almost certainly nobody there. In my scared frenzy, I flung the door open and ran down the corridor to my parents' room, creaking and creaking and creaking until I reached the door to their room. I pushed the door open to look inside. I saw both of my parents sound asleep in their bed, and unsurprisingly, my 7-year-old brother had tucked himself in between them. He was also sound asleep. Gently pulling the door shut, I crept, now more quietly and aware, back to my room. When I got back, I climbed up the little ladder of the bunk bed to check if my sister was still asleep, which she was. Then, as I got back into my bed, I heard the distant sound of feet creeping down the corridor yet again. As I did before, I got out of my bed and peeked through the door into the corridor, and the noise stopped immediately. I have no clue what time it was at this point, or whether my ears could have been playing tricks on themselves. But if you had asked me, at 10 years old, I would have told you that I thought there was someone approaching my room. Getting back into bed, the sound resumed, growing louder and louder, then getting quieter, then louder, and nothing came of it any longer. And finally, I fell into a light sleep in my bed. I had told my family about what had happened, and they all said that none of them had woken during the night. This left me dumbfounded, unsure of what happened. When I spoke privately to my mom later that day, she told me I'd possibly been thinking of the paper dolls walking around, which is actually like the worst thing that you can say to a petrified child, that there are bloody walking dolls creeping around to this day. My theory, whilst mental, is that my grandma's house was haunted, as it was extremely old and isolated, and I bet there was some creepy ass ghost wandering up and down the corridor. Please, can someone explain why it couldn't have been a ghost? Oh my god, not the creepy paper dolls. That's pretty damn funny if you ask me. I mean, I feel bad for your 10-year-old self because, oh my god. But I mean, I'm sure she was just being like, it's probably what you were thinking about. The story probably scared you. But instead, what she said scared you more, which is pretty funny. Probably not to you, but it's kind of funny. And honestly, could have been haunted. Your grandma's house could have been haunted. But my first thought was, after you said that your brother was in bed with your parents, if he was sleeping in his own room, maybe the first time you heard the creak, he had like tiptoed in there and went and snuggled in and fell asleep. Because my kid goes from his room to our room all the time, and it's fast. It's fast, and he's asleep fast. So the first time you heard it, I could see that happening. Now the second time, either one, yes, your ears were just playing tricks on you because you were kind of subconsciously freaking out about those stupid paper dolls. Or maybe your grandma's house was haunted. I mean, if it's older, it could have been somebody who maybe passed away in the house, depending on how old is. Or on the land, they could have passed away on the land. It could actually be the land and not the house. But I find it kind of funny that it happened the same night that your mom read this spooky book. The only thing is I would also say maybe it was a dream, but you were very obviously awake. So no, but also maybe just in the off chance, maybe you were so delirious from being so tired that your brain just kind of made these noises. But I don't know, because I also don't want to like poo-poo the fact that you've heard these noises. You know what I mean? While you're looking for a non-paranormal explanation, I'm trying, but it could also be a good possibility that maybe, yes, your grandma's house is haunted, and maybe this ghost was just playing tricks on you, as in they knew you were terrified of this book and they were like, bet. And then they went walking up and down the hallway. I mean, I'm just pulling shit out of thin air at this point, but I'm really glad you just didn't see anything though, especially not like giant paper dolls walking down the hallway, because that's what my brain is also picturing. And that's equally as creepy as nothing being there. So, you know, and these paper dolls also have really spooky faces and stuff, because my brain is just, it's just a little messed up. So anyhow, if you guys have any ideas or comments as to what this could be, let me know below. And let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
This comes from new_librarian_3467 on Reddit.
I lived in this apartment in Saskatoon, on Avenue C, across from the Great Buffet of China, and started to experience paranormal things. I had 2 rooms and would sleep in both, but at the time, I was sleeping in the spare bedroom and would feel what felt like a cat circling me in bed. I could feel its paws on the mattress every night. I had seen a very tall black mass at the foot of my bed 3 times one night, and it would disappear as I stared at it. So I changed rooms, and it stopped for a bit after that. While cleaning up by the closet where I'd moved the mattress to after changing rooms, in that same room is where I found 3 dimes in the shape of a triangle behind the mattress. It freaked me right out. One night, I had sat in my recliner very late at night, and it felt like something was moving around inside of it, like pushing on spots of my back. It freaked me right out, and I got out of the chair and looked at it, and I couldn't see anything. But when I sat back down, it started again. I quit sitting in that chair. I would feel tugs and pulls on my body. And one day, I woke up and found a cross on my wall as a watermark. I had very definitive pictures of a motorcycle and either a cat or a dog that would appear on my walls from sunlight through the windows and went away one day suddenly. But the scariest of all was when I was in my master bedroom, I looked through my door near the floor on the door frame, and there was what appeared to be black steam or smoke coming out of it, and a black mass actually materialized and approached me. I got up off my bed very fast and yelled, "If I touch you, you'll be banished," or something like that, and it kept approaching me. So I stuck out my finger and touched it, and it vanished. One time during the day, on all four walls of my master bedroom, moving beings appeared that looked like they had been drawn on the walls. And even if I left the room and came back, they were still there. It was wild. Can anyone shed some light on this experience for me? It would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so the satanic cat just wanted to perform a ritual. What's wrong with that? I mean, clearly this cat likes to ride a motorcycle and give back massages. I mean, the back massage thing has me sold. I don't know why you decided to get out of that chair, but I would love to have a haunted massage. But all jokes aside, it is super creepy that this stuff is happening and that when you move the bed, you found these dimes in a little triangle. I don't know. I mean, it could just be coincidence, but it's weird. And it's also very interesting that you started seeing shapes and stuff or figures. That's freaking spooky. But the thing that gets me too is that you saw black, like mist, whatever, coming out from under your door. And my first thought was, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. And then it wasn't. It turned out to be a freaking black mass that turned into a shape of sorts. And that's really spooky. And you know, honestly, while this could be a haunting, I also was thinking that it might be like some kind of parallel universe thing, only because the thing that really trips me up is the pictures on the wall that are showing up with the sunlight. Like, what is that? Like the cat riding the motorcycle. What is that? That's why I'm also thinking it could be a parallel universe, but I don't know. I preferably like the satanic kitty, who gives really good back massages. So that's what it is. You can't convince me that it's anything else, because if it's anything else, it's really creepy and I don't like it. And I'm glad you don't live there anymore. But if any of you have a story like either story today or any paranormal story in general, head on over to my website and submit it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And well, it's an odd world after all. Oddballs, thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave 5 stars or thumbs up on whatever podcast platform you listen on. If you have any comments for this episode, comment below or head over to Instagram and comment on this episode's preview. To submit a story or for more information, go to itsanoddworldafterall.com.